4 billion people, one name, 3 religions, all claiming the same Father. But not one of them can agree on what he actually believed. Here is the part that changes everything. Abraham never called himself Jewish, never called himself Christian, never called himself Muslim. He predated every single one of those labels. So the real question is not who he belonged to. The real question is what each religion took from him, and whether any of them got it right. Picture the ancient world. Every city has its own god. Every empire has its own pantheon. The idea of one God for all of humanity? Considered insane. Abraham was not a priest, not a king, no army, no temple, nothing. Just one conviction so radical it restructured the entire spiritual history of the human race. 3 religions, 4 billion followers, entire civilizations shaped by one man's decision. And here is the thing that none of those religions fully answer. If he was not Jewish, not Christian, not Muslim, what exactly did each one take from him? And what did they do with it? The first thing Abraham gave the world was the most dangerous idea in history. One God, not one God per city, not one God per tribe. One God for everyone, everywhere, always. In a world of polytheism that was not a religious statement, that was a declaration of war. Every other God, false. Every other temple, wrong. Every king claiming divine power, a liar. Abraham did not just change what people worshiped, he changed what power meant. Now watch how the 3 religions take that same idea and pull it in 3 completely different directions. Judaism made it tribal. One God, one people, one land. Christianity universalized it. One God not for one nation, but for all of humanity. Islam systematized it. Monotheism as a complete way of life, governing everything. Prayer, law, economics, everything. Same original idea, to 3 completely different conclusions. And every single one of them convinced Abraham would have agreed with them. But the text shows something they all avoid talking about. Abraham's God made promises to both of his sons. Not one, both. Which means whatever Abraham believed, it was bigger than any single tradition that came after him. 2 sons. This is where the map splits. Isaac, born from Sarah. Ishmael, born from Hagar. Simple family story on the surface. Underneath, the entire architecture of religious history. Judaism traces through Isaac. Christianity traces through Isaac. The prophets, the Psalms, the kings of Israel. Jesus himself, all through that line. Islam traces through Ishmael. The Quran says Abraham and Ishmael together built the Kaaba in Mecca, the most sacred site in Islam. The place 1.8 billion people face 5 times every single day. Same father, 2 sons, 2 civilizations. But here is the detail everyone skips. God blessed both of them. The Torah itself says God heard Ishmael, promised to make him a great nation. This was not an accident, not a consolation prize. Both sons were part of the plan. So the split was never supposed to become a war. Something happened between the original promise and where we are today. And that something starts on a mountain with a command that made no sense. God told Abraham to sacrifice his son, his own son. No explanation, no negotiation, just a command that directly contradicted everything God had previously promised him. Abraham went anyway, climbed the mountain, raised the knife. Last second, God stopped him, provided an animal instead. Judaism and Christianity say the son on that altar was Isaac. Islam says it was Ishmael. That debate has lasted centuries. But nobody debates what that moment reveals about Abraham. He did not hesitate because he understood. He did not comply because he was afraid. He moved because his trust was so complete that even when the command made no sense, he moved anyway. That quality, that total interior surrender, all 3 religions built their entire spiritual identity around it. Judaism calls it emunah. Christianity calls it faith. The Islam calls it Islam. Submission. 3 words, 3 theologies, 1 man on 1 mountain. And yet, If that moment united them so completely in what they admired about Abraham, why did they end up at war with each other? The answer is not theological. It never was. Here is what actually happened. The earliest followers of Moses were not fighting the earliest followers of Jesus over theology. The earliest followers of Jesus were not fighting the earliest followers of Muhammad over God. They were fighting over something far more human: authority. Because whoever controlled Abraham's legacy controlled everything. His name was the ultimate legitimacy. Prove your tradition is the true continuation of Abraham, and you have the moral authority to lead, to judge, to govern, to exclude. So the split was not spiritual, it was political. Each tradition looked at the same man and stopped asking, what did he believe? And started asking, what can his belief authorize us to do? In that shift, from following Abraham to using Abraham, something essential disappeared. The man who rejected every institution became the foundation of the most powerful institutions in human history. The man who answered to no label became the most labeled figure who ever lived. And that original faith, raw, direct, unmediated, exists in fragments across all three. But in its complete form, it belongs to none of them. No written word, no surviving temple, no army, no empire, no law, just a posture, a way of standing before God with nothing to offer except complete trust. Judaism took that posture and built a covenant. Christianity took it and built a theology of grace. Islam took it and built an entire civilization. None of them wrong about what they built, all of them incomplete without the others, because each one carried one piece of something that was whole in one man. That is the debt. Not his name, not his bloodline, the memory of what it looked like before anyone decided to own it.